That's right. This is the boss of Bitcoin, your boy BK. Today is June 12th, 2017. And let me tell you something. If you don't like me, you must not like money. Bitcoin has just taken a hit, you guys. As you already know, it's down off its all-time high, $2,700. And I want to get right into it. One of the things you'll hear in the upcoming weeks is Bitcoin in a bubble. What's the price gonna do? You see it's at 2,600 right now. If we go back, to the daily chart, we can see exactly like over the course of not even 24 hours, this thing has really taken a shot. I think if you look at the market cap, what the market cap came down to in order for this price to happen, it's a couple $2 billion that was moved out of Bitcoin and in the other parts of the market. So you know me, I'm always looking for the money, and that's what I'm gonna help you do on this call. One of the first things I wanted to talk about was, a lot of people are talking about there's a shift in the market between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and ultimately people are trying to decide which one they think is better, what's the future coin look like, what should be have the most value. When this whole thing started, it was Bitcoin and only Bitcoin. Now it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, NEM, Ripple. All these huge coins are competing for essentially the same pot of money. So one of the biggest talks right now, and CoinDesk had an article about it today or yesterday, was talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum and the new search for the number one. People are saying that Ethereum may overtake Bitcoin as the number one cryptocurrency on the market. If you look at the values inside both of them, I think Ethereum is inside like $5 billion of catching Bitcoin. So that's one of the motivations people are associating with this recent pullback. One of the cool charts that they had on there, I wanted to show you guys, is more of a sentiment. This is in marketing and data analytics. They call this sentiment analysis. When you actually look at the words of a topic and you start to give those words values. Cliff High, if any of you guys know about Cliff High, he actually built a computer software program that can look through Google searches, and all it's looking at is the different words that people are typing, and from those words he's been able to make predictions about the future, about politics, about the economy, about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So words are very powerful, you guys. I just want to make sure you understand that. And this chart begins to show how the sentiment about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has changed over time. You see on the left-hand side the question, how do you feel about the overall state of Bitcoin? And that chart is highly, sprayed. Some people really, really like it. Some people don't feel very confident at all, and that's just Bitcoin. So now we look at, how do you feel about Ethereum? And it's one-sided, overwhelmingly. Almost 70% of people extremely positive, 21% of people moderately positive, whereas we got that amount on moderately negative just for Bitcoin. So you'll find, just because you're number one and you've been number one for a long time does not mean that some people are still gunning for you. But let me tell you something, if you've been number one for a while, you know what it takes to get to stay there. And that's what we have with Bitcoin, and that's what we'll see on these charts. This move was actually forecasted in the numbers. If you don't follow me on TradingView, you probably should. I will put together a separate video that I'll link to on this one that actually has all the links: Coinbase, TradingView, Twitter, Google, everything. You know, we got a Facebook group. It's called the #1 Bitcoin group in the world. So you could join that right now. But TradingView, I actually posted this on June 1st, and what I saw on the chart was that we were coming up to a new support line, right? And I saw that, and I said, Bitcoin's gonna drop here. It doesn't have enough energy to break through that blue line up there and make the jump into the next channel. And when you look at what actually happened, one of the cool things about TradingView is you can kind of hit that play button and it'll show you what happened afterwards. It did exactly what I said it was gonna do. Not only did it drop, but it stayed on that blue line. You know, if I would have extended that line out, I wish I would have now, you know, so you guys could have saw, I would have extended that line out. It dropped below that line for a little bit, but it came right back to it. And then when it finally dropped past that line, now we're in what we know as this Bitcoin bubble. It's a drop off. It's almost a little bit of a correction. In order for Bitcoin to continue to go up, it does have to go down a little bit, and that's what we'll see in these charts. So please don't get discouraged. Don't, you know, think that Ethereum is the savior to the world and Bitcoin is yesterday's news. Don't do that, because the minute you do that, Bitcoin is going to shoot through the roof, be $5,000, and Ethereum is back at 200. So keep your eyes on the prize and let's make this money. Looking at the charts, Bitcoin USD. Again, this is TradingView, you guys. I have moved out to use a 2-hour chart, 144 minutes. Mathematically, it works a little bit better for the different things I like to try to do on my charts. So that's what you see here. And I think I was working on this one earlier, so I just want to make sure that, you know, all the drawing tools are gone. Remove all drawing tools, please. And let's get started. Let's see how this thing is coming together. One of the things you will see on this chart, I'll go ahead and throw the candles up there, is that it only goes back to about May 17th. The way I see it, I'm not really concerned with too much of the past. It's like, you know, if you trying to, you know, make a cake for the holidays. I don't know how many people got family that come over, and then when, you know, people start cooking, everybody think they their own personal chef and they trying to throw their own ingredients in the recipe. And I'm like, if you wanted to cook, you know, you should have been the one cooking. I'm cooking right now, so I don't need to look all the way back here and learn what happened back here. All I need for this recipe, you know, for the money is right up in here where these recent jumps happen at, right? So that's one mistake I feel a lot of people make is, you know, they're drawing lines that go back into January and they're saying, oh, because this line in January. No, you don't really need that, right? Everything you need, the only history you need, all the history you need is probably inside of 2 weeks. If you go back much more than that, then you're really taking a lot of information that's unnecessary, and that might really not be helpful at all. So 144-minute chart, we see we have our 3 trend lines. A lot of people ask me, what do these different colored lines mean? These lines are moving averages. And so what it does, for example, this green line, it's a moving average that accounts for the past. This is a quicker line. So for example, this point right up there, that quick high point, that's because it counts for, you know, the immediate candles right behind it. I don't really like to share what numbers I use. So for example, I don't want, you know, people to do the wrong thing and say, oh, Brandon, that's because you gave me the wrong lines to use. If you Google it, just Google simple moving average, and they have historic candle sets that you can use. So for example, a short moving average, a good number for the green line, some traders use is like a 5 or a 10-day moving average. That means you're looking back 5 or 10 days and it's summarized in that green line. The red line is an intermediate day moving average. This could be a 10 or a 20-day moving average that takes a little bit more information in, and that's why you can see it moves a lot slower, not because it doesn't have as much information, but because it's accounting for much more information, so it doesn't have as much variance. And then the orange line is a long day moving average. That line in itself is, you know, normally 100+ days, and it's really showing like the momentum of Bitcoin. So, you know, one of the trading averages is like 200-day moving average. If you track both of them, and we can do it right now, but if you track both of them, you'll see when they cross, normally it signifies a up or a down for like the next 3 months of whatever stock or stock you're looking at. These are normally stock trades. Cryptocurrency is new, but I found that the same principles carry over. So, you know, a lot of you guys ask me, what's the red line? What's the orange line? What's the green line? They are simple day moving averages, but when you use them together, they will tell you a lot of the information that you're looking for. And so that's all I do. I look at the lines, I look at the candles, I understand the relationships, and I can predict momentum. And right now, Bitcoin has a lot of momentum that just shifted. So that being said, we need to get some trend lines on this chart right now because things are changing and we need to know where the market is headed next. One of the guys in the chat, I'm looking at this chat right now, so make sure if you got a question, you throw it up in there. One of the guys asked, is this a good time to buy Bitcoin? A couple people are asking that. And I will tell you this right now. If you do not own Bitcoin, any time is a good time to buy Bitcoin because what it does is it gets you in the market. You can, and I'm telling you, this thing could go down to $1,800, right? But you only get hurt on the roller coaster when you try to get off. So even if you bought it at 2,600 and it went down to 1,800, guess what it's got to do? It's got to come back and go back above $5,000. I'm telling you right now, Bitcoin is going to be $5,000 before the end of 2017. So by January 1st, 2018, Bitcoin will have hit $5,000. I'm saying it right now. So if you don't own it, you will at least double your money if it drops below 25. If it stays at 26, I'm not guaranteeing 5,400, but I'm saying 5,000 at least. So you got 2-to-1 odds right now. But then again, what I teach is don't just throw your money in at $2,600 and wait for it to be 5,000 and think you did good. Anybody with a bank account can do that, right? I don't settle for mediocrity. I strive for greatness. That's why I'm spending the time to teach you guys about moving averages, about momentum shifts, about day trades, because then you take that 2,600, right? You see it's on a drop. I'll show you how we could have seen this drop coming just based off the last chart I did on TradingView, and you get out. So now you're accumulating Bitcoin, just trading it back and forth against itself. That's what I teach. So while other people can just jump in at 2,600 and double their money in 6 months, which everybody will do, by the way, you'll be able to triple it. You'll be able to quintuple it. You'll be able to go 1,000% of the market, just like one of my clients did earlier this year, traded with me for a year and a half, put in about $15,000, and now they're north of 75K. You know, just dropped another $3,000 on Litecoin this week because Litecoin has just broken out. We can talk about that in another chart, but Litecoin just broke out. Litecoin's gonna double this summer, might triple, might go ×4. And so that's what I look for. I don't look just to gain by having Bitcoin. You know, you got in the game, that's great. But now, you know, let's control the game. And so that's what we're doing here. Sorry to deviate. Let's draw some trend lines. Right? So first thing we look for, green to orange. What I need to know on this move is, where did the momentum start and where did it stop? So right here, I can see that's a quick line. I'm trying to think best way for me to do this. If we wanted to do a quick line, we would do something like this. Red to green gives us our quick break line. That's when it breaks down. That's the slope that it takes. So what I'm looking for is, after it breaks down, what does it do when it builds up? And in order to understand that relationship, I think we got to go back right there. Because when we go back here, and what I'll do is make it, highlight it like that with a little circle. All I'm doing is I'm finding the part where the green line broke through the orange line. So this is where the quick moving average broke through the long, slow moving average. What this means is it's a lot of momentum happening, and that's a critical point in the chart. We've proven that on a few different charts now. Green to orange is critical. So we take that line and find where it broke back through at. And that happens right there. And all this shows me right here is, you know, I don't really care what happened above that line, but I know whatever is on that line represents a complete cycle of Bitcoin's life. Green goes above the orange, green comes below the orange, as above, so below. We come up with our life cycle. So that's what that white line is. And on that video, that's what I saw. I saw it break under the white line. I said it doesn't have enough to break through the white line. So what does that mean? It needs to fall back down. You got to think about it like stepping up a ladder and stepping back down a ladder. Over time, you know, either one has to happen. Both of them can't happen at the same time. So one of them has to happen. And normally you can tell when a trade has enough energy to step below or step above a ladder. And as we can see right now, if we would have just placed that white line at the lowest possible point after that break, right? All we do is copy paste, right? We've done this plenty of times. So to find the new life channel that Bitcoin was living in, we just copy paste and look what happens. It's riding that wave. And where does it break at? I want you guys to see this. Orange to green. If you just look at the orange and the green lines, you can make a lot of money. Because we find the two up top, we copy and paste it down low, and lo and behold, we find the magic spot of destiny where that orange comes back to the green and Bitcoin broke down. These lines talk to each other. They tell each other what they're allowed to do. So once you actually start tracking them over time, you'll know exactly when it's going to break down, when it's coming to an end, and how to profit from it. That's why I trade. It's very easy, as you can see. So I don't want to just throw money in at 26 and let all these line shifts happen. And I know it's going to happen and I don't profit from it. I like profit. I like money. I like vacations. I like nice cars, you know. So that's why I do it. And it's pretty cool when it works out like that. So you can see, long story short, Bitcoin just broke down. What does that mean? This green line crossed that orange line pretty steep. So that means it has a lot of negative momentum. If you think about this thing like a how do we, like a boat, right? The boat was just floating on water, and then all of a sudden you just take a big chunk out the boat and all this water is filling the boat up from the bottom. That's really what just happened. Bitcoin was fine, fine, fine. Boom. Somebody took a shotgun and shot the bottom of the boat out. And now it's all this negative momentum that's pushing it down. So what's going to happen? It's going to need to settle down a bit, which it'll probably do. And I'm trying to, I'm trying to find some symbols for you guys to help you understand. So we'll call that, that's our red spot where Bitcoin green crossed the orange going down, right? And now what's going to happen is, let's go back. I don't think we have anything to throw that back against. No. All right. So now we go low to low on the long-term chart. Check this out. So this will show you for real how this thing is looking. So what I want to do, what I'm looking for is these long range whistles. I'm looking for where they all came together at. And it looks like one of them happened right there. And this is going to be my long range support. And one of them happened, we'll say right there, somewhere in there. So what I do now is I want to see where the baseline is. I want to know the bottom, like what's the lowest Bitcoin can go, and I know I'm still going to be profitable on this side of the trade. So I go from there to up in there, right? And that's not good. That means that Bitcoin is underwater right now with respect to where it's been for the past 3 months. So that's not really a good thing. I didn't see this area right here. Sometimes, depending on how far back you take it. So even if I move it up right there, it still doesn't really help us. And what I'm looking for is where all lines came together at. Where can I draw one point in time, just basically a vertical line like that, and connect the red, the green, and the orange, because that's like a lightning strike. And right now, when I try to do that with these two lines, it looks like Bitcoin is already lower than that point. And this goes back to May. So that's not good. That means Bitcoin's going to be going down for a while to settle out. And it may go down. See, now what we do is we draw our horizontal support lines. And this is where things get kind of tricky at. This is where you take the intersections and start to create different support channels. So when you want to do a horizontal support, all horizontal support is the intersections of the red and the green lines, right? And the closer, you'll find that the closer these lines come together, that's a pretty significant point. That means it's really trying to decide if it wants to go up, if it wants to go down. And a lot of times when you see it bounce back and forth like that, it's trying to decide. So when it does decide, it's going to be a move, and it's going to be a big one. And that's kind of what we saw, is we had about, especially right here, red and green, like literally on top of each other for almost 4 days. And when it makes a move, it makes it, and it makes it quick. And so long story short, if we want to find some quick horizontal support lines, let's see, what's the easiest way to do this? Low to low. One way you can do it is just draw a horizontal line. I like to make mine kind of big. And just find like where, oh, that's a good one. Where it crosses all three at. So for this support line, I'm making the first one right there, because when you have all three converge together like that, that means that's a pretty significant point. Another one looked like it was broken right there. I think we already saw that one. And then we could do one more just to have a good idea. And that last one is down there, 1200. That was like the beginning of this breakout, like 1280, 1080, something like that. Right? So something like this will show us where Bitcoin is going to fall to. And you can see it didn't waste any time getting back to that point. And it hasn't stopped going down yet. Remember, it has to go up a little bit just to give all those lines a chance to come back together. And then that green is going to keep carrying those other two lines down, because once that green makes a decision, it makes that decision for everybody. And so right now, even though Bitcoin is pretty low and that green is probably going to go up, you know, a little bit. So what you'll see is, you know, the pattern after it broke, it'll look like this. It'll go down, come up, you know, go down, come up, and then it'll probably settle right here for a second before it drops down again. And again, the reason it's doing that is because it has to give time for that orange and that red to come down and keep moving down with the green. So this one line right here, it's not done going down. I'm telling you right now, Bitcoin is going to drop, you know, below $2,400 over the next few days. The reason why is because the angle that this line, the green, went through, that orange, that's a lot of negative momentum, and it needs to figure out where it's going to get situated at. So if I had to imagine, I would guess that it will settle for a second right about there. And then that's when it's going to pick up another channel and decide if it's ready to move up or if it wants to keep going down. And so this is normally going to take a few days to work itself out, but you'll have something that goes like that, you know, and then it'll hit like a magic spot where the lines come together again at, and it'll make its decision. It will decide, do I want to go up or do I want to go down? And when you look at it from a larger scale, you can see that these are actually they're called inflection points. They're basically like decisions, you know, that the chart makes. You know, that's a major inflection point. When all the lines come together. In our first couple videos, we would mark it with a lightning strike. So you'll have, you know, in a few days, maybe not a few days, but probably a little bit longer, probably about a week or so, you'll have another inflection point where it's either going to go down or it's going to go up. If it's going to go up, it's going to follow a little bit pattern like that. If it's going to go down, it will drop to this next area of support, which is right around $1,800. So right now I'm looking at the chat. If there's any questions on that, you know, I'll take them real quick. If not, I wanted to move on to, you know, Litecoin and look at Ethereum real quick. So Bitcoin, you know, it happens. It had a really good run here for what, 3 months, you know, and it just got tired. It got tired. People took some money away and it'll bounce back. So do not get discouraged. Next on deck, LTC, Litecoin. What I want to do with this one, to show you guys that Litecoin has turned around. I was actually looking at this chart earlier. So let's get rid of that one. This is what we'll do. I have like a lot of different charts saved, different ways. I don't like to like look at one chart one way because I might miss something. So a lot of times I'll redraw the exact same chart 2 and 3 times just to make sure I'm seeing everything. And Litecoin is one that I've felt good about for a while now. It's actually one of the coins that we picked in our monthly analysis where we recommend different coins, you know, the top coins of the month. So let's check that out real quick, because a lot of people, you know, reach out to me and want to set up one-on-one meetings and everything and ask about specific coins. You know, a lot of people, DigiBrite, Ripple, Ethereum. You know, I don't have time on these calls to go over everything. So what I've done is I've set up an Eventbrite page, and I can put the link of this in the chat window. And what this does is it actually connects you to being able to schedule meetings and you know, do a webinar. I have different days on here and another day. So you just go on, you pick a day, and once you pick your day, that's if you wanted to set up a one-on-one meeting. But if not, you know, if you just wanted like the top 10 cryptocurrencies for June, you know, I sent this thing out, what, 2 weeks ago, but they're still making money. So one of the things we do is a June 2017 report. It's $15 and contains 10 altcoin picks. And if you follow any of these videos at all, you will see that I'm pretty good at letting people know when a pick is about to happen. So that's what I do inside of these reports. I give you about 10 solid cryptos. I literally spend all month looking at these charts, and I put them together for you in a nice, colorful, beautiful printout. That way, you know, you can have some success and, you know, make a little bit of money on your own. And so Litecoin, why do I think Litecoin is ready to pop right now? Well, let's check it out. We draw our trend lines, and the way we do that is we find where the green breaks through the orange, one side up, one side down. Where does the green break through the orange? One side up, one side down. Right there, right about there. So that gives us our uptrend. Next, we look for our downtrend. And this is where it gets interesting at, because this is the 144. Yeah, I want the 144. See, it hasn't even popped on the I don't know if you guys noticed that, but on the 4-hour chart, it hadn't even popped yet. So look, we'll do that at the end. But and that's another big thing. I've already made that mistake before, but you definitely want to make sure that you have the right minutes on. So again, I use 144 minutes. It's because we live in a base 12 universe where, you know, we count 5 fingers on a hand, multiply it by the magic number 12, and that gives us 60 of everything. 60 minutes in a day, 60 seconds in a minute, 12 eggs in a dozen. So I use base 12 for my charts. Green goes down, green goes up. That gives us our uptrend line. Actually, green goes Messed that one up. Green goes up, green goes down. That's our uptrend line. And right away, you notice it's a very good trend line. Why is it a very good trend line? It's a very good trend line because we drew it from these 2 points in the past. Point 1, point 2. We drew it from those 2 points. Green goes up, green goes down. And we can see that it predicted almost to the intersection, to the exact moment that that green crossed that orange coming back down. Right there. So now we do the same thing going the other way. And what you'll see is that we don't actually get a hit of the green going back above the orange. I don't count this or this area because that's just like a test. It's like it went up and tapped it and it said, no, I'm not ready yet. It went up and tapped it. It said, no, I'm not ready yet. Right here, it went above it, but then it came right back down. So I don't count that as a breakthrough yet. You understand? A breakthrough is when the floors become the ceiling and the ceiling becomes the floors. So right here, when it finally went above it, it held, right? And that's now it's standing on top of that orange. So now that's a complete cycle. And that's why I say Litecoin is a really good pickup right now because it's just now turning over. It's like starting a new book, a new chapter in the book. And what you'll find is that when these cycles happen, that means all that money that was lost on Litecoin during the down, now that's going to be made up. And when that comes in, it's going to follow the exact same pattern as it did in the past. So now that that's there, you can probably put a point right there and say the new life of Litecoin. And actually, we can even do one more because we had a little test up there. And so that test is like our midline. So we throw that one right there, make it a little dotted one. See what we're going to do? Look at this. We're going to make you so much money. Make this one dotted, right? But then we could do the exact same thing right there because that was another test. Right? Something like that. That's going to hold too. So now we can see that within 3 lines, we have our channels for Litecoin to go up. So it's going to go, and I don't know how, I didn't draw this thing to scale, so I can't tell you when, but it'll go, follow that line right there. When it's ready to break out, it'll break, come back, and it'll settle above this dotted line because it's already built into the chart. That's what it's already decided it can do. Once it has enough confidence in that line, in that channel, it's going, boy, that's a bad one. It's going to, you know, live in there for a while and then break through to the next channel. So it's just, it's like a ladder. It's stepping up and it's stepping down the ladder. That's all it's doing. That's all it's allowed to do because that's all that happened in the past. When it wanted to break out, those were the points that it came to and it wasn't ready yet. So now that it's ready, those are the points it will come to again and you'll have those spikes up at. Step up the ladder, step down the ladder. And so, Christina, you said, I think you're the one that said it was your first live stream. You know, I hope we did a good job for you. You know, this is what I do all day, every day. I try to put out one of these videos every day. And so this is how you trade, guys. This is how you beat Bitcoin at its own game, because while everybody else is scared to make money, I watched the video earlier today. A guy said, you know, people don't know what's going to happen with SegWit, and people are saying that Ethereum's better than Bitcoin, so just sell everything and wait. And I said, that's got to be the dumbest comment I've heard all day. You know, and this guy had 1,000 subscribers telling people they were scared to make money. If you scared to make money, you don't deserve no money. I'm not scared to make money. I just showed you how to make it on 2 different trades right here. So this is what I do. If you want to get a one-on-one meeting with me, I put the link in the chat. I'll have it in the description. I do 1-hour consultations. I got 3 or 4 of them. This week, we're going to start knocking them out, 2 a day. I want to help you guys make money. That's why I throw these videos on YouTube, just to give you an idea of how easy it is. I do a lot more advanced charting. I have a lot more metrics. So, you know, this is just the bare bones, the basics. This shows you that it's not rocket science. So when somebody tries to tell you that it is, you say, no, my boy BK got about 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, only had a channel for about 3 weeks, and he done beat the market 10 times to 1. You know what I'm saying? So you let them know that this knowledge is not foreign, it's not secret, it's just common sense. You just got to know how to read the book. You know, so get in the comments, you know, let me know what coins you want to see. I will try to make a video about them this week. I know we got Steem on the list. We got Ripple on the list. We just banged out Litecoin and Bitcoin in one video. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to knock them down for you. Digibyte, we covered last week. I think we talked about Sidecoin a little bit last week. So I know it's a lot out there. If you want one in particular, or you just want to set up some FaceTime so we can actually go over how these charts really work from the inside out, I got that Eventbrite link for you. Bang it out up there. We'll get it done inside a week. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you make money. So in order to do that, you have to be proactive. Reach out to me and let me know that's what you want to do. I wish I could do it all for free, but I really can't. The bill still got to get paid, you know, and I got a little dog. She got to eat too. She about 6 pounds. You know, her name's Chula. And she likes toys and tennis balls. Walks on the beach. So yeah, there you go. It's your boy BK. I'm about to get up out of here. I'm about to go grab some food. I might be back on a little bit later, doing another live call if I could get on another chart. So yeah, get in the comments, guys. I want to keep this community engaged. Again, I got a group on Facebook called the number one Bitcoin group. Hold on, let me find this real quick because I think it's kind of cool. I like Facebook groups because then it's like you're all connected and we like can have like a live chat community. I could share charts, people could share stories. And also I didn't want to do like a page because then it's like spam, you know, and you don't even see half the page posts that pages do be posting. So I did make this group. It's called the number one Bitcoin group in the world. Let me pull this up real quick. There we go. 3 members. Here we go. So that's what it looked like. Facebook.com/groups/your boy BK the crypto trader. You know, this is what I think we could do. Just throw stuff back on there whenever I put a video up, I'll post it in there so you get it too. How to chart like a boss. We got that playlist on deck. I'm trying to help y'all make money. So if you appreciate it, if this video helped you at all, just do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. You know, what that does is that lets YouTube know that this was a good video. It was some quality. You know, I know we about 45 minutes in right now. I'm putting time into this to try to help you guys. So if you value it, you know, make sure you set your notifications. I try to do a video every day of the week. Just to help you guys understand and see how this happens. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the community. I got an email the other day from the analytics people. They said this is one of the fastest growing channels in the world. So that's really amazing. 2 weeks, y'all. 2 weeks, 2,000, 3,000 subscribers. You know, keep subscribing, keep sharing. We go grow this thing out to be a global operation, and we go show the world, you know, with the power of Bitcoin, how these coins work, and more so when they come ready 3 years, 4 years later with their money, we'll have so much waiting on them. We'll bring them in with open arms. We say we got Steem, we got Litecoin, we got Dash, and we know how it works. You know, so that's how it's going to be, guys. This is a power group right here. This is one of the earliest adopting groups in the nation for this cryptocurrency stuff. You got one of the best teachers. I have dedicated 10 years of my life to understand these charts the way that I do right now. So I want to keep it involved. I want everybody in them comments, you know, and let's make this thing an amazing community like it's shaping up to be. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. It's your boy BK signing out. Y'all have a good day. Peace.